The Deluxo and Toreador are both fantastic weaponized vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, and funny enough, after the price changes in the game, they are both within $100,000 of each other's price tag. We can see the Deluxo is $4.3 million, and the Toreador is $4.25 million. So, I thought in today's video, why not compare both of these fantastic vehicles, talking about their weapons, their overall capabilities, and which of these two vehicles I think is better for most daily use cases. Let's get straight into it. Let's start this video off with the Deluxo, talk about its upgrade, weaponry, speed, and just about everything you need to know, and then its price to performance. So let's start off with its special abilities. First of all, it can fly. This is obviously a major special ability. There's not a lot of vehicles in the game that can fly, but even more importantly, hover in one spot with really out moving. There's a couple vehicles that can do this. Obviously, we have helicopters, but they also don't count as personal cars, and you can't just drop them onto the ground and drive them willy-nilly. So I wouldn't really count helicopters in the same kind of category. So all we have left at that point is mostly the Oppressor Mark II and the Mammoth Thruster. The Thruster's cool, but it's kinda crappy, judging that it's not a car again. You can't really just drive it on the road. So at that point, all we have is the Oppressor Mark II. Now, the Oppressor is a very good comparison. It flies faster in the air, but it's also almost double the price tag. When you add that into the fact the missiles are worse, and overall, I would pick a Deluxo any day of the week when brawling Oppressors at this point. Yeah, I'd say just the Deluxo is a better choice over the Oppressor Mark II. As I said, the ability to hover is incredibly nice. It means that if you're ever doing some sort of gang attack, a perfect practical use for an online session where you can use the Deluxo's missiles is really any agency mission. You can see here, we're just gonna fire a missile at that guy. He's a goner. Any guys down this alley here? Boom. Hit them with a missile. Boom. Hit them with a missile. This is what Deluxo is just great at, though. You just nuke people with the missiles, and yeah, long live that car. It's really fun to use the Deluxo. The missiles are super devastating, as you can see, and they 99% of the time hit whatever you're aiming at. These are Mark II missiles, so they're not your crappy, helicopter or jet missiles. These are missiles that you'll find on the pre-nerfed Oppressor Mark II, Deluxo, Ruiner 2000, and the Toreador. So really good in general, fantastic for any type of asset protection, or really anything like that. Again, just shoot the missile and boom, easily hits that bike. To upgrade the Deluxo, you're gonna have to bring it to a special workshop, either the Avenger, the MOC, you can also bring it to the Arena workshop. Unfortunately, applying weapons is not going to work in your basic Los Santos customs. The weapons are really cheap, they're $200,000, and that's it. It's mounted MGs and missiles, so there's no real big expenses you need to purchase when upgrading this vehicle. You just put on the missiles and you're completely done. In total, the Deluxo features 30 missiles, which compared to the unlimited supply the Toreador has is a pretty big downside. However, it's not the end of the world. For example, let's pretend I'm all out of missiles. All I need to do is go down to the road and step out of my car, go to the vehicle tab, and return my personal vehicle to storage. Then, I'm just gonna press at the top, request personal vehicle. What, that took me a total of 5 seconds to do, and you could very easily do that faster if you paid attention. And just like that, my Deluxo is spawned again. Every 2 minutes you can do this, and as long as you don't blow through 30 missiles every 2 minutes, you should be completely fine on restocking it. It doesn't cost anything, you don't need to go anywhere, just be near a suitable road, and you can constantly resupply your Deluxo's missile supply. Because the Deluxo can fly, it makes any water missions incredibly useful and easy. For example, there's a mission for the Dr. Dre VIP contract where you need to head over to a super yacht hidden in the ocean. All you need to do is step in the Tauros to get the location and then hop in your Deluxo, fly over to the super yacht location, and then just land on the yacht before the air defenses kick on. It saves you so much time. Not only that, but even doing crates, for example, there's a Lupe crate mission where you have to go into the ocean and go opening crates underwater with a welding kit or like demolition charges, and you're gonna have to steal crates. The Deluxo is by far the easiest vehicle to do with those missions because of the fact if it's hovering over the water, all you need to do is keep it slightly at a pace, and you're gonna notice when I jump out of it, it stays hovering above the water. Now sure, it's probably gonna drift maybe 150 or 200-ish feet in front of me, but it's gonna stay in one spot after it slows down. And you can see that right here. The Deluxo has basically stopped to a standstill. The best part is while your Deluxo is hovering above the water, all you need to do is press either Y on your remote or whatever your enter button is, and just like that, you hop right into the Deluxo. Because of this, it makes completing missions so incredibly fast. In fact, I would just say the Deluxo is amazing because of this. The final thing I thought I should touch upon is the Deluxo's survivability, and it's not great, but to be fair, it's really good if you use it correctly. For example, if there are jets shooting missiles at you, even Mark II missiles, all you need to do is fly directly towards the missile and go down or up to dodge it, and it will miss every single time. Missiles cannot turn around fast enough to then instantly hit you from the rear. Because of this, it makes the Deluxo an actually really good vehicle for taking out jets, especially the F-160 Raiju, as the missiles are fast enough to instantly loop around and take them out. So that's the first thing that's great about the Deluxo. The other thing that's very nice is the fact that if there's somebody on ground trying to shoot you with a machine gun that doesn't understand how to take out the Deluxo, all you need to do is tilt the front up, and it's going to make it impossible for somebody to shoot you through it. And then you just tilt it down, shoot a missile at them, and tilt it back up. It makes the Deluxo actually quite fun for not only spawn camping, but as well just destroying people on ground. But at the end of the day, it does have a pretty big weakness, and that is the fact that it cannot survive any explosions. Especially with the newest weapon added into the game being the railgun. The railgun just obliterates the Deluxo. Let's pretend there's somebody flying around me and dead. That's just how easy it is to blow up the Deluxo. The fact that the railgun can essentially hit, like, anything instantly, especially the Deluxo flying so slow and it's such a large target, I would definitely say at this point, if somebody is trying to kill you, all they need to do is pull out the railgun or even their explosive sniper, 2 shots and your Deluxo's toast. So, it is a pretty easy vehicle to take out. Speaking of armor, we now move on to the Toreador, which is definitely a much better vehicle if you want survivability. To showcase how many missiles it can survive, all you need to do is really shoot yourself in a wall with them. That's our first missile, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. As you can see, it takes 6 missiles to blow up the Toreador. That's a lot when you think about it. That's 5 homing missiles it guaranteed can survive. And add that into the fact that it also features an unlimited supply of Mark II homing missiles, and yeah, that's pretty dangerous. The Toreador is essentially a tank on wheels. If you're going for survivability, the Toreador is definitely going to be more up your alley than the Deluxo, because it's basically impossible to destroy. The fact that you have unlimited missiles and the fact that you can survive so many explosions means that really anybody trying to shoot at you or explode you is just going to struggle so much. Now, to be fair, you can shoot missiles at this car, but when you realize it has a rocket boost, it's going to make it very hard to confidently hit missiles on it, especially if they're from a normal jet or something like that. And now that the explosive rounds on the Raiju, the laser, and basically all the other jets are pretty lame, it just means that this vehicle is super tanky and is going to be very hard to take out, especially when it just needs one lock on you to instantly hit you and knock you out of the sky. Now, while the Deluxo does feature a pretty good top speed of 127, the Toreador features an even faster top speed due to the fact it features a speed boost of 135 miles per hour. It also has a much better lap time, about 10 seconds faster. So when it comes to speed and overall handling on the ground, the Toreador is definitely going to be a better choice. But the Deluxo is going to be much better if you need to do anything that involves going over water or obviously over big mountains. Unlike the Deluxo, you don't need to own an MOC, an arena workshop, or really anything special to put missiles on the Toreador, because as we can see, this fully stock one here has them equipped right on the bottom. So if you buy a fully stocked Toreador and never upgrade it, you're still going to have fully homing missiles available at your disposal, so that's actually a really nice benefit, especially if you're a newer player. Something that I find very overlooked when it comes to the Toreador is that it's a 4-seater. The Deluxo can only have 1 passenger in it, but if you're ever hanging with friends or trying to do missions or something fun, the Toreador is definitely a better vehicle, down to the fact that it features 4 doors. Something that I think nobody's ever going to care about is the fact that it can go in the water, though. Like, it's cool that you can go under the water in the Toreador, and obviously Rockstar tries to make, like, missions that involve this, but really, like, who's going to actually care about going under the water in this vehicle? It's a gimmick, and it's a gimmick that you're really never going to use. It's really annoying to have to get in and out of the vehicle while it's in the water, and yeah, it's not the most effective. But I will say the one cool thing is that you can shoot torpedoes. They don't really do anything, but they home, so if there's somebody in a boat you don't like, I guess you can blow them up. Something I always found incredibly devastating about the Toreador is the machine gun. I don't know why, but for some reason the machine gun on the Toreador, as you can see, literally annihilates. And that's a fully upgraded car you just saw with the armor upgrade on it. Imagine you roll up to a street car like any of these vehicles here and you just start shooting at them. I mean, that is insane. The fact that Toreador does this much damage is absolutely ridiculous. Really, there isn't a better option when it comes to either of these vehicles. They are both fantastic. The Toreador is a little bit faster, but only in certain circumstances, because it's also slower due to the fact it can't fly. And when it comes to any missions involving water, the Toreador is just flat worse. But on the other hand, it features unlimited missiles, a machine gun that for some reason is just absolutely devastating, and it also features much more armor, being able to survive 6 homing missiles and RPGs. So it's really back and forth. The Deluxo is pretty fast on ground. It has the ability to hover, making it incredibly useful for not only taking out air targets if people ever try dealing with you, or you get any missions where you have to take things out of the sky. For example, special cargo, take the Valkyrie out, take the Mavericks out, or if you're doing air freight cargo and you have to destroy Merryweather jets, obviously the Deluxo is a much better choice. Add that into the fact that the Deluxo can also dodge missiles quite a bit easier because it can fly, and that is another benefit, but it can only survive 0 explosions. So it's really back and forth. They most likely depend on what you're going to be using them for. Neither of them can be used in special missions at this point. The Toreador used to be able to, but now that they can't be used in missions, they're both just free mode gods. Personally, I still like the Deluxo more. I think the ability to fly is a much more useful tool than having the survivability, especially because I do a lot of my grinding and solo sessions where really the only explosions being made are on myself. So for the most part, I don't need the added protection the Toreador gives me, and the speed boost is really nice, but with the added ability to fast travel, I don't really use it that much anymore. So let me know in the comments down below what vehicle you think is better, but personally, I would say go for the Deluxo first and then get your hands on the Toreador. That's at least my belief. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.